So hi, my name is Wyatt. My YouTube channel is Lego B&B Studios, and this is my Star Wars mock. So this is a droid base, and the clones are assaulting it. So starting over here, I have Wat Tambor and General Grievous. This is a landing bay, and then over here I have this is for one of the two mountains. I wanted to put a large crevice going through it, and I wanted to have the base inside the mountain. Over here, there's a large path where you can see I have two custom AAT tanks, and then let's see, I have a bridge going through the center of it, and rivers. Yeah, and then over here the clones are coming and attacking the droid army. I have a few custom ATRT tanks coming to attack. And then I also have a custom Brickworld Republic gunship that I was able to use. I decided to put some older Lego Star Wars minifigures coming out of the gunship. And then from there I have a hangar where I was able to put some lighting in to give it some nice flare. I have multiple tri-droids throughout the mock. And then on top of the mountains, I have a large bridge spanning between them, and the clones are assaulting with a swamp speeder and attacking the droids that are coming at them. And then on the other side of the mountain, I have a large satellite dish that is trying to communicate to the other droids and for reinforcements. I added some details like a mini kit, and yeah.
Really impressive scene here overall. I love the way you've done just the landscaping and the action with the two sides coming at each other. Is this based on any particular Star Wars show or movie or anything, or where did you kind of get the inspiration?
Yeah, so I got the plan for the idea from the Bad Batch, the very beginning of the TV show. And then from there, I decided to just create my own kind of scene, my own kind of map of the place. So, yeah. And then the idea for this came from the later season of the Bad Batch, where they had the massive base kind of encarved into the mountain. So that's where that mostly came from, yeah.
And I really like how it's kind of multiple levels. You've got that bridge going across the mountains in the background, and then kind of the main battlefield down below. So how do you sort of plan out a project like this, and how did that kind of evolve as the build came together?
So I did multiple sketches to begin, and I knew I wanted to have two different fronts to the battle. So I started originally with the side with the landing pad, and then after that I moved towards the tops of the mountains. It was pretty difficult when transporting because I wasn't able to make the tops of the mountain split up into multiple pieces. But I think I was able to get it here pretty well. So.
Yeah. So is there more inside the mountains too?
Yeah. So on the back of the first mountain, I have a large energy core, as well as the Bad Batch who's trying to sneak in and destroy it. Down below, I also have a small room that's kind of like an armory. And yeah.
And then the landscaping on this layout is really incredible. So take us through kind of some of your favorite elements for that, things like the snow, the river, even kind of the dirt roads and paths.
Yeah, so with my last mock, I had it very just studded, and it didn't look very good. So this year I wanted to really try and add as much detail as possible. I went through many different iterations of how I wanted to design things. For the river, most people use just a bunch of blue studs to create the water effect, but I wanted to do a lot more detail and make it more accurate. For the rock work, I knew I wanted to use this technique, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to have some more studs on top technique to make the mountain work and rock work, or if I wanted to go with this look. But I think I was able to get a nice balance. So.
Yeah. And you mentioned you custom built some of the vehicles here, so take us through the designs of some of those and how those came together.
Yeah, so for like the AAT tanks, it's a heavily modified version of the Lego set that came out in 2020. I started by making the base of the AAT tank larger and then shrinking the cannon in front. And I also changed some of the other proportions to make it more accurate to the actual vehicle. On the top of the mountain, I custom designed the swamp speeder to be more minifigure scale and be more accurate. I really like the nice detailings on the sides where I was able to use the 2x2 round plates to add more detail. And then down below for the ATRTs, I was able to build those fully using the original 501st Battle Pack, and I was able to design it to be as minifigure scale as possible and have as much detail as possible.
Yeah. I think that works really well. And what's this technique over here for kind of the landing platform?
Yeah, so essentially what this uses is 4x4 plates as well as tiles in between them. The tiles, they're all set on an even plane, so the tiles stick up half a stud more than the plates.
And you also have lights throughout this, so do you have a specific brand of lights you use? How did you incorporate those into the build?
Yeah, so I use Light My Bricks, and I was able to get them for pretty cheap because they recently switched to a 2.0. And then for it, I wanted to make sure it was able to light throughout, so I had a whole system underground to get it between the two mountains.
Do you know the total piece count or how many minifigures are in the build?
I know the total piece count is over 10,000. And then I know there's around 100 to 150 minifigures on this mock, so.
Yeah. And that's very impressive. How did you decide to go with kind of the snow on it and then just kind of figuring out, okay, this much gray and then this much snow and the balance of some of those different layers?
So it all really started over here. I had to start with some patches of grass, but I didn't think it looked very good and wasn't really realistic. So then after that, I kind of switched it up and did more of the snow pattern. After that, I thought it would look too plain with just snow, so I decided to add the path and then eventually the bridge. For the snow for the mountain, I originally started with this more rugged look, which I think looks better than some of the other things I did, but due to time constraints, I wasn't able to fully go with that look throughout the rest of the mock.
And do you plan to expand on this build in the future, kind of within this battle, or start on a new project? What's your plan there?
Yeah, no, I plan on building a new mock next year. I want to try and do a series of smaller mocks that lead up to a larger one to tell a full story, so yeah.
Very impressive. For people who want to see more of your work, where do you post your builds online? What can they find from you online?
So I'm on Instagram and YouTube, Lego B&B Studios. And yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, keep up the great work. Thank you.
Thank you.